All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to our time on the couch tonight out of Lagos.
Yes.
Thank you. So tonight is going to be a special night because we are going to be raising funds. Some names you have never heard about before, groups you've not heard about before. We're going to give a big shout out to them. But before we start, let's thank those great guys who made our trip to the northeastern part of Nigeria amazing. People in Bauchi State, led by Chairman Omar. Please give them a hand.
Take it back. Action.
And also in Gombe State. And at Yankari Game Reserve.
That's right.
Yeah, we went there and we saw a lot of baboons.
Were there the animals there?
There were, what they call water bugs.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, we saw a crocodile.
Nice.
Yeah, the crocodile was moving towards the water bug and we saved it. It was like Buhari going after the chief justice of Nigeria. Yeah, but we saved it.
But you swooped in there on time?
Yeah, we were like, we told you, move, Buhari's coming.
Now we just need to do that on February 16th.
Yeah, so we can get rid of all the crocodiles that have been after your lives and destinies. So we typically we're gonna do the financial summary updates tonight, and we still have that challenge of 1K Nigerians are supposed to donate 10K since the 17th of December. So far, we have 126 donors.
For 10K?
Yes.
Nice.
And we still have in place that challenge of 1 million. I think we need 400 Nigerians to give us $1 million each. We're still at 3 million naira. 3 people.
3 people gave us 3 million naira each.
Yeah, 1 million naira.
1 million naira each.
We're still 97 to go between
now and 16.
So our financial summary, according to our accountant, says that our Zenith Bank account since total amount donated since last fundraising event on January 24, 2019, 4 days ago. Zenith Bank, we're at 1,480,986 naira. And GoFundMe is saying that we have $2,731.
Nice.
Last GoFundMe is pretty consistent. So
yeah, GoFundMe, they're really good with their little drops making a mighty ocean.
So when you get a lot of donations from GoFundMe, you get hourly updates. That means you're doing well. Yeah, notifications. So the total amount of money donated since the beginning of the campaign to date, Zenith Bank has now reached 59,607,952 naira 6 kobo.
Thank you.
I'm sure we're going to reach 60 million tonight.
Oh yeah, easy.
GoFundMe has an equivalent of 50,533,848 naira. So that's 50 million.
So you're saying we've had more funds in naira equivalent to the
That's
Zenith
exactly
account
what I was saying earlier
to
today.
the
Someone
GoFundMe.
like people in Nigeria, contrary to what we initially started
Yes.
with, the people in diaspora are donating less than people who are based in Nigeria.
That's interesting.
But that is to say that a lot of diaspora people who have accounts at home are also
paying. That's true.
Yeah,
A lot of diaspora people are paying in naira. But also remember that the GoFundMe started way before the Zenith account.
Exactly.
So if you add everything, the Zenith is still.
And
really
this tells you the story of how people at home are more interested, way more than you think you are. Whatever
Yes.
it may be. They are the ones who really need the revolutionary change, the transformation we're promising. This is amazing. So we have to mention some donors since the last show on January 24th. George Shima gave us 5,000 naira. Hilary Hiyimbo 7,000 naira. That's a regular donor. Samson Ojo Omorodion 20,000 naira. Wiwu Daniel 1,000 naira. Dosumo Konlawon Waliu 2,000 naira. Ajibade Adedayo 5,000 naira. Awosika Okeyemi Temitayo 5,000 naira. Mudasiru Musa 5,000 naira. Daniel Tenichokwe Francis, 8,000 naira. Mafidon Lawrence, 82, 9,000 naira. Gabriel Olawale Akinjise, 10,000 naira. Wanti Beatrice Mose, 10,000 naira. Frederick Hassanatu, 10,000 naira. Osazo Jude Rishi, 10,000 naira. James Osai Lawrence, 10,000 naira. Abu Wahab Samsudin, 10,000 naira. Eni Abire Olakunle, I like that name, 10,000 naira. Ala Mutu Adeyemi Abdurrauf, 10,000 naira. Afolabi Kudus K, 10,000 naira. Dolo Yobo, 20,000 naira. And if you are wondering why I know how to pronounce Nigerian names, I learned that from my dad, a teacher. If you're a teacher, you have to do that every morning. You know the register, the blue register. So, and if I call your name and you're in the house, please say present, sir.
Present.
Femi Adeyeye.
Present, sir.
Jerry Mike, I at this point now the teacher is stopped. I was sober. 20,000 naira.
Thank you.
Daniel Major Akwemoka, 20,000 naira. Odinye Shinye, 50,000 naira.
Nice. Thank you.
Akodun Emmanuel Banjo, 100,000 naira.
Thank you.
Ukina Meme Oseje, 120,000 naira. Awoyemi Afiz Adedamola, 1,000 naira. Adeboale Oluwagbemiga Sam, 2,000 naira.
Thank you.
Bensi Grace Asomchi, 5,000 naira. Malik Isiak Ishola, 7,000 naira. Ikponwosa Itoha Mercy, 10,000 naira. Shenowo Olabanji Olufemi, 10,000 naira. There's a Transfers Remittances Limited for 13,000 naira, 346 naira. Money Alake Powell, 20,000 naira. Adewale Rufus Ojo Olakwe, 20,000 naira.
Thank you.
Ogungbade Debo Joel, 100,000 naira. Sogan and Titus Cummings, 500 naira. This person donates regularly, a small amount. These are people who really donate from the little they have.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not saying people who donate 100,000 are not donating, but
yes.
I really appreciate these people. Thank you all for giving the little you have. Biola Ganiyu Bakari, 1,000 naira. Olua Tosin Joshua Awolusi, 3,000 naira. Kote Philo Ejiro, 5,000 naira. Olabiola Oye Stephen, 20,000 naira.
Thank you.
Oluyokun Olumenga, 50,000 naira.
Thank you.
Isaac Oba Onopasa, 2,200.
Thank you. It'll be a remit.
Yes. Fola Sayo Adejuwon will be 10,000 naira.
Thank you.
There's some money here sent for Jingles for 500,000 naira.
Thank you.
I got Duno, $50.
Thank you.
Olumi Rajala, $100. Happiness Akanero, regular donor, $100. Abin Bola Dear, $100. Kubo Sojo, $20. Wonguyo You, this person is not a Nigerian, apparently, maybe a wife of a Nigerian, somebody who just loved this country to change, $50. Vera Kuti, $100. This is Kayode K. Steven Oyetunde Oje, $200. Flower, $25.
Thank you.
No Need, $200.
So no need to mention.
No need to mention. I guess this is another name for Anonymous. Tara Dobo, $330.
Thank you.
Sasu Bazwaye, $100. Bombs Lacking, $50. Sean Menami, $20. Ade Awotedu, $250. Fred Iyasere, regular donor, $100.
Thank you, Fred.
Jude Zomba, $300. Uluajayi, $15. Godwin Aduwa, $20. Anonymous, $25. Eda Oladilo Bikonye, $20. Mami Oluyinka Bikonye, this is her husband and wife, I would think.
Yes.
$20, thank you. John Adebayo, $50. Special mention category, this 50,000 naira and above category is Odinye Shinye, 50,000 naira.
Thank you.
Adodrin Emmanuel Banjo, 100K. Kina Meme Oseje, 120K.
Thank you.
Oluyale Devo Joel, 100K.
Thank you.
Oluyo Kolubenga, 50K. The Jingles Woman, 500K. Para Anthony Shibuna, 92,940. People donated $200 and above on GoFundMe. Kayode Steven Ojetunde.
That's right.
And No Need as well. Ade Awotedu, $250.
Thank you.
Judo Zomba, $300. Kaya Dogo for $330. Thank you guys. So, if you're out there, we want to give a special birthday shout out to Etu Mohammed. He's not a member of our party, but he's a pretty cool guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's a member of NRP and he's running in Lagos actually. I hope he's not running against one of our candidates.
No.
Oh, if he is, we're going to beat him.
Yeah.
But
since he's not, we can
But
afford
Etu
to.
is one of the coolest guys out there. He's 39 years old.
Yes.
And Etu, if you're watching and listening,
Happy
we love you
birthday.
here and happy birthday to you. And to those of you who are having your birthday today, wishing you
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Thank you guys. We have complaints, real complaints from people who have been making donations to PayPal, and some did some kind of donation from across the US in particular.
Zelle and
Zelle, they've been sending money and we have somehow not been mentioning their names and we apologize. But we will start with Yinka Obasa, who sent us $1,000.
Thank you. Take it back.
So it's so guys, please permit me to read out their names. These are amazing people. Oluwatosin who gave us $50.
Thank you.
Omitope Akomolafe, these are US people, $250. Aziz Abimbola, $24.13.
Change from
Yes.
something.
Doni Kelvin, $21.63.
Thank you.
Oluwatisayo Alo, $12.08. Alexandra Aji, $12.08. Janet Agbire Mole, $32.71. Oluwadare Okwesan, $121.28. Adewale Razaki Awoshegun, $100. Olaji Bako, $100. Dingo Koro, €25. Bakari was €100. That's more than $100.
Yeah.
People like their names to be pronounced. I mean, their currencies to be pronounced appropriately.
Absolutely.
Because there's seniority in currency.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard
They're not your mates.
even the Liberian dollar is higher than naira.
Correct.
That's so sad. Real one, Ojibara. This is this is Dingo Koro for €25, and Real one Ojibara donated $6.09. Real one again $6.11. There's someone with Divine Snacks, $30.
Thank you.
Daria Kundayo, $50. Victor Rimben, $50. Adebayo Gabriel, $100. Folabi Olomo Kugbe, $50. Idris, $5.49. Mr. Paula Kunji, $50. Ayoyemi Olubuyi, $100. Steven Jagboro, $43.50. Olulope Koya, $50.
Thank you.
On Point Events, $20. $290.
Thank
Arif Anibaba, $20.61. Akim Olawole Fatus, €50.
you. Thank you.
Omo Bude Augustine, $5.44. Osaro Wese Imagbo Vowan Wadiai, $25.
Yeah,
Wadiai.
that's favor.
It's
Tony on your own.
It's starting to get that. Those ones came from PayPal.
But that's favor. I know that Wadia fellow. His
Yeah.
name on Facebook is Favor. If it's the
Okay.
same person, it's him, right? If it's the same person, then thank you very much.
These are Chicago contributors. Olusebuka Obioha. Oh, this.
Oh, Ebuka Obioha, we
They
know.
didn't say how much though. All right, I think they didn't specify the amount, but let's just run through their names. They're amazing people. Moses Alade, Kolawole Solomon, Ogugua,
Ogugua.
Iwelu,
Yeah.
Ken Olufunso Solade, Alende Elijah, Josephine Sakwe, Musa Salami, Femi Matimoju, Felix Odusaga. Shade Aduroja, Olasumbo Atoyebi. This Ohio Asaya. Ohio is our Chicago chair.
Right.
Yes, give him a round of applause. Oladimeji Oladapo, Comrade Ogugu, Prince Adenuga Shoribo, Nuruddin Balogun, Femi Adekoya, Babajide Ola Brahimo, Dr. Tawa Ibikunle Salami, Larry Enobakari, Babatunde Olukoye, Adifagbala Abolaji, Pastor Emmanuel Georgewell, Professor Nick Nike or Nike. Odushaga, Ademola Afolabi, Williamson, Dr. Williamson. This is a live band from Chicago, an architect. There's a live band that donated their time when we were there.
Right.
An architect Femi Aduroja. And to all our other vibrant supporters who attended the town hall meeting, funders and contributed in one way or the other to the movement and party in Chicago area. Thank you guys a lot.
Thank you.
AAC.
Take it back.
Take it back.
Action. No going back.
Man. So this is for people in Minnesota. Comrade Kenny Kalejai, Pastor
Yes.
Leha, Olufadeji Amele, Mr. Babington, Mark Eze, very popular guy like that. That guy has a solution to all our accounting problems. He can't wait for us to win. He will come and solve it. Leia Uluwa Tula, Dr. Mokodion, B. Ogunjimi, Professor Zalanga, Mr. and Mrs. Fumbi Olushina, Clement Alonge, Charles Gifredo, Ojo Fati, Jawere, Pastor Sam Ogbonaya, and Mrs. Falade. These are also names of contributors: Mr. Ken Ogoni, Daniel Ruba, Lukman, Eluku, Bayo Daramola, Pius Omorega, West and Dochi Dotun Ogunleye. Thank you guys a lot.
Thank you.
So that's how
Should
far
we
we
check
can
the Zenith balance right now so that we'll know?
before we start.
Yes.
Zenith is not transmitting tonight, though.
Eh?
As yes, so
They were not online.
No, yeah. Well, no, we issued a statement on my Facebook page the day happened that finally Buhari has gone bonkers.
Yes.
And he has become a full dictator. So, but let also be very clear that both sides are bad for Nigeria.
Correct.
The CGN side, the PDP people, and the APC people, they are all bad for Nigeria. And we need a clean break. I'm saying this because as of 2 years ago, Sahara reporters reported that the CGN had money in the account,
That
millions.
he hadn't declared.
EFCC was instructed to issue a report, and they tried to disgrace us. They said we lied, that the man is a clean man. What is natural about Nigerian leadership is that they always use for compromised people to man sensitive positions.
So that in
INEC,
case they need to get rid of you.
Central Bank of Nigeria, Central, the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Remember, I gave a speech in London where I said the Chief Justice of Nigeria is a friend of the Chief Thief of Nigeria. They're all friends. And that is where we are now. So, but we must resist any attempts, to carry out a coup in Nigeria against, bodies that are supposed to, represent a proper democratic process. So, on that note, we plan to protest alongside some lawyers tomorrow.
Right.
So that we can continue to let them know that we don't support what they're doing. But do not take our protest as a support for the PDP characters who would have done worse than this. During their own time, they did the same thing. They removed a judge. I think it was Justice Salami. And they asked the heaven to fall, and the heaven didn't fall. So they're all the same. And the people who were in PDP then were in APC now. Some of the people in APC then are now in PDP now. These guys are the same people. So that's our position on that. Do you have other questions?
Yes, but a lot are asking of where our secretariat is. Yes, there's a question for you, Ms. Pedro.
Okay.
What's the process in getting to become polling booth agent?
Fantastic question. So like we previously mentioned, any polling booth where we don't have an agent is a polling booth that we cannot guarantee that our votes would be secure. We will be putting up all of the details to do with polling booths during and after this broadcast. You can either register online using the Google form. So that when you register online, I know a lot of people are saying, why must they register online? Why can't they write their name on a piece of paper? This is because once you register online, the information that you give actually goes directly on what states you are looking to vote or man, and your PVC unit code. So some people have been asking us that, is the AAC asking for their PVC numbers? No, we are not. But there is a number at the top of your photograph on your PVC that lets us know it's normally 2 numbers /2 numbers /2 numbers /3 numbers, and that just lets us know what polling booth you are calling from or that you're going to be manning on that day. Another question that we get a lot of is if I don't have a PVC, or if I only have a temporary voter's card, or I wasn't able to get a PVC, or I've never registered to vote and I couldn't make it before the registration closed, can I still be a polling booth agent? 100%. It just means you're actually more mobile, because if you have a PVC, we can't ask you to go and to monitor a polling booth separate from the one that you're supposed to vote at. So if you don't have a PVC, you can literally go to anywhere that's convenient for you within your area that doesn't already have a polling booth, and then volunteer to monitor those polling booths. So let's say this as well. What does volunteering mean? What will we be asking you to do on that day? You are just to report back to AAC if there's any malpractice at your polling booth, if there's any ballot box being snatched, or they refuse to register some people, or they were trying to force some people to vote for certain parties. And then if you are present if you are allowed to be present at Play Store, Unfortunately, it's not on the iOS platform. It's only on the Android store, and it's so powerful. Instead of you typing what you're doing, you can literally just see a drop-down box. If your ballot box was snatched, you'll just see the option for snatch. You tick it. If the voting materials were either late or incomplete, or they didn't turn up, you'll see the option right there. And then there's an option to actually take a picture. So you can take a picture once they've recorded all of the scores. Once the scores have entered, they will record the scores. You can actually take a picture. So if someone comes tomorrow and says, no, in this polling unit there were no votes for AAC, you will actually have provided us with the proof that says there were votes for AAC. And I think this is something that you said was part of the way that Buhari was able to emerge successful against an incumbent government, was simply because Sahara was doing live reporting and was giving and tabulation in real time. Because the problem is at night. If they carry the ballot box away,
the moment those ballot boxes enter nighttime,
or somebody says we are coming first,
come out white the next day.
Yes. So
especially for the ruling party,
the real-time reporting is when people are talking about rigging. It is only when there is any shroud of darkness around what is being done at that polling booth. So please, whether you have a PVC, whether you don't, whether you've ever voted before, come out and vote. Definitely, if you've got a PVC, please vote AAC. If you don't, we still need your services. Please help us secure the elections.
So, sir, this Idris will not let me be. So he says he thinks it's a good strategy and he doesn't know how it will work, but it will help if you can get your name on a drink like Guinness, Coca-Cola, Fanta, or even water, etc. If people buy it, they will see your face.
That one, it would work only if anybody will allow any company to put their name.
Yes.
You saw what we're going through even at NTA, just to do a 2-hour interview, they're scrambling half of it's, I don't think it will work. So, but what will work. So let's announce some new donations and go for me.
Nice.
Timilade Alamudu, $150.
Wow, thank you.
8 minutes ago. There's a guy who said, don't mention my name. I said, I would like to be anonymous. Could you please discuss off camera about the numbers of polling agents currently available? Millions of Nigerians are with you and we all love you. AAC.
Take it back.
He donated $50.
Thank you very much.
Elizabeth Ayodele donated $150.
Thank you very much.
So God bless. Thank you for your hard work. And Janet Olushola Akinrina, they also donated $100.
Thank you.
So this the new donors. If you make, I think my suspicion is that Zenith Bank is not transmitting alerts at this point.
Does someone want to test it?
Yes, I know. So there's someone though who on Facebook said, Anonymous, please confirm if you got a $151.79 sent on January 24 on PayPal. I want Ogun Deep to get $70.
Right, okay. So let's, I don't have the information in front of me, but I'm sure we can
And this person also sent another one. Okay, that's the same 145. Maybe they've sent twice, according to them. So don't mention my name.
Ogun Deep. So what's Deep? For those who've never heard of Deep, Deep is Diaspora Engagement Empowerment Program. Thank you. A+. Deep is just means there are people in diaspora who are happy to donate, but they're actually passionate about donating to their states, either the states they're from or the states they grew up in, to mobilize certain states. So whereas we do fundraising like we do on the couch every night or as many nights as possible, we also have targeted fundraising as well. So someone says, look, I've got £100 or $100. I want it to go to Ogun State, as is in the case of this person, or any other state, and I want it to be used for posters or they can say, well, I want to donate megaphones, or I want to donate this or that. Some of you guys out there are so generous that you're actually happy to not just donate to your state, but actually to states where we don't have a lot of diaspora representation. So Taraba, Adamawa, Yola, Gombe, and things like that. So there are people who specifically ask for the funds they donate to go to northern states, to states that need them. So that's exactly what Deep is. If that's something that you're interested in, once again, just signify, and someone will be in touch with you after the broadcast.
Signify by raising up your hand.
Do
I
like
have a
this.
question
Yes.
here, Ms.
Yeah.
Deji.
Okay.
Paul wants to know that what if those submitting their names are agents of APC or PDP? Are there any
Fantastic
checks
question.
on this?
So yes, we do our checks. You submit a name. Trust me, we go through your Facebook. We go through.
You shouldn't be saying how we check.
We do our checks.
Yeah.
We
We
work
do
out if
background
they're.
check, yeah.
But let's talk about what the app does. It's not for AAC. It's not for PDP. It is just for transparency. It is just for you to say, at this polling booth, it went fine. That's results. You can't modify it or change that. That's the picture of the things that are being counted. Oh, and I should also mention, we are not INEC, please.
Yeah.
Because INEC thinks, who are we to be announcing poll results? And they're not very happy. Please, it's not an AAC app, it's a Take It Back app. Take It Back has always been a pressure group, pressurizing the powers that be to do the right thing.
Don't even be defensive. If INEC they can get upset as much as
No, they can let them release their results. We're just saying our results.
They release their result, we release our result. With Sahara reporters. What was amazing was what made it credible. We were getting results from APC and PDP. And comparing, so we had access to some of their situation room people and say, okay, this is what we got in Shagamu. APC will send their own too. And you'll be surprised that they match.
Okay.
Yeah. Because there are places where they want to, play against you.
The
It's
swing
very easy
states
to
and
find out. Then you go for the observers and they'll give you the accurate numbers. And we had a lot of people out there in those days. We now have some drones that are coming in from the UK, so you're gonna see, if you see drone flying on top of you on that day, just know it might be
Yeah.
from us. But we're not the only ones sending out drones. A lot of people are gonna be bringing in drones. They already have them. There's nothing you can do about it. And please, please, and please, do not let INEC discourage you from taking your phones inside
Yes.
on the place.
Yes.
Make sure that whatever you can do, capture on camera, capture it. So you guys, don't worry. INEC, do your own thing, and we do our own thing.
We're not
Yeah,
trying-
no long thing.
Okay, that's a question.
Yeah.
I am going to ask for you.
Okay.
I've registered online and there was no response confirming if it was successful or not. Is this how the site will work?
This is what?
Is this how the site will work?
Normally once you register, I think there should be an automated message. I think you should check if you got your email correct. Definitely, yes, if you got your email correct, you should check your automated, there will be an automated message. Maybe check your spam box. If not, please leave your name and we'll make sure someone gets in touch with you.
Yeah.
When is Edo State rally?
February 4th.
Yeah.
And now yesterday will be Friday coming up. We're going to be in Ghana on Wednesday night. Some of us, not everybody. And when we get there, we're planning to have a meet and greet in Accra on Wednesday evening. And then on Thursday, we'll be having an interview with, is it Para? How do you pronounce it? The guy who does mock news.
Para.
Parara. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have a mock news live interview. Amazing guy.
Yeah.
That's why we're going to. So somebody asked me to explain that some people feel like it takes too much time to be thanking people individually, but you don't know what it means for people to actually reach out to deep inside their pockets and give you money, and this money is not going to God; it's going to man. So it's not like tithes. We don't announce tithes. Yeah, I know the Christian people are upset with me already, but this is something that one person trusts you enough to give to you and say, and we think they deserve, recognition and commendation and what's that in the accolades.
Yes.
So that's why we do it, and we find that a lot of people really, really appreciate it, and some people don't like it. They want to be anonymous. So the person shaking his head at the back, he has never contributed before. And just kidding. So please, if you opted to be anonymous and we mentioned your name, it wasn't deliberate. It's just because there's a lot of people out there. We're trying to reach out to everybody, and that's how it happened. Well,
It's about to come up onto this.
You tell us.
Okay, well, the update, guys, is we've been shortlisted, so we'll communicate.
is that
with
official?
you. Yes.
Okay.
We'll
What date is that one?
I'll confirm.
Okay.
And then the second one for you, Miss Pedro.
Yeah.
Can there be a proper workshop for all the agents that represent AAC during the election to enable them get proper orientation in how to carry out their duties?
Absolutely. But it may not happen in a workshop setting.
Yes.
It's a
In
virtual,
bricks
we
and
may do a
mortar,
virtual
yeah.
workshop, and we'll send messages to people.
Yes.
Depending on who they are, some people can read, some other people we might need to talk to them, send them a short video. Some people we might gather together in places like Lagos. We need 120,000 agents. That's more than like 4 universities.
Yes.
And you gotta teach them how to do it. You need how many professors? A lot. But we'll do it. We'll do our best to reach out to everybody. Most people know what to do
Yes,
anyway.
we'll just do a video and share it.
Yeah,
Yes.
also we'll do a video and share it.
Devin Love is asking to confirm a $100 donation.
Today, just now, is that by
Yes.
yeah.
That would be
Okay, is any bank seems to have come back
to be awake.
life? Yeah.
Dun, dun,
Maybe there's like a
dun.
donor fatigue with some of our donors.
There we go. Is that it?
300 naira.
Yep.
That's Misty trying this thing. Come on, it's working. So Misty, we'll give you back your
Oh,
trillion.
I said yeah. I said test.
Somebody tested, but you shouldn't have. They will collect back their money now with interest.
No, never.
Nothing new.
No,
Okay.
not just yet.
Yeah,
Nino
bring
Felix is
bring
asking.
Facebook back. Bring GoFundMe back to life, people.
Nino is asking when you are heading to Agbo.
Agbo.
Delta State.
That's
Delta
Delta.
State. Well, we're planning Asaba, so I think that's gonna be. I think the tentative date is February 9th,
Okay.
yeah, or 12th.
And
Yeah.
Honorable Ade wants to know where you'll be voting on election day.
Where I will be voting.
Nigeria.
It's gonna be Nigeria. It's too early to disclose my location. I'll be voting underwater in
Then
Ondo
when
State.
is our own rally coming up in Lagos? Abiola. no.
Mega rally is
Lagos is being planned, so
February,
we'll let you know.
February though.
Oh, February? Yeah, it's gonna be February.
We have
Lagos
a
people
question
can't
on
wait.
YouTube.
Okay.
Louis Jackson, please, when will you visit Uromi?
Uromi.
Yes.
Uromi
in-
is Delta,
that's on the
isn't it?
4th.
That's Edo State.
Edo.
When is it?
On the 4th.
Fourth. Are
That's
we gonna
the
reach
mega
Uromi
rally.
on that day?
No, but that's like the mega rally.
Yeah, Edo State.
That's a mega
Is there a
rally.
plan for Mina Niger State?
We
Niger.
went to we did Niger. That's
Suleja.
Suleja, but not me. No.
Not me, no.
Who knows? We might make it back there. We still have plans to go to some, places that just special places. Maybe Mina might come up. We plan Calabar that way. Maybe Mina, Ilorin. So we'll see, guys.
Tanya wants to know why your wife is not public.
My wife is not public. She's public.
She said she's not supporting you.
She's not supporting. She's supporting. Why do you think I'm here? You don't know
She
my
didn't have a
wife.
supportive
If
word.
she's not supporting me, man, she will hold my trouser. Drag me out of here. No, she is. Yeah, I'm enough. I'm handful enough. She's just supporting me is big enough work. There's a donation of $100 from Nwabuze Susan Opute Somosu for $100.
Is that the person?
He said, can Shoresti come outside of Nigeria to Namibia? God bless AAC. I don't think we can do it. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I
no.
wish we can. Yeah. Yes.
Unless you division yourself
We
into
can do
twice.
division of labor. So let's look at.
Have you got
Are
questions?
there plans to go to Ijebu and OOU?
Ogun. We're supposed to be
Yeah, we have plans for Ogun. I think that's. I don't know, but we'll let you know. Keep an eye on the Facebook page.
Jason Wise, would you ruthlessly tackle corruption or use a soft glove through our corrupt judiciary system?
You
No.
said you're gonna disrupt.
It's gonna. I
Criminality.
mean, on NTA, we said it. We're very clear about it. It's
gonna
those three
disrupt
stages of
criminality.
prevention, enforcement, and consequences.
Absolutely.
You know, it's called PEC: prevention, enforcement, and consequences. Peck. They will be getting a peck on their faces. In this kind of people. Yes. So nothing new has come. If you have questions, ask us.
I guess this person is a new supporter. How can we vote for those of us in diaspora?
If you're in diaspora and you have not registered and you're not home, complying to come home, probably it's too late.
Oh,
You may have to wait till the next. This two cents. I just love hearing all the various Nigerian.
You don't have to know how to spell the name. Just know AAC.
The ones
Those
that's
are the
most
two
annoying
things
to
you need
me
to know.
are Yoruba people who call me Shewere. You know, I'll just say, Father, forgive you all. You don't know what you're doing, man.
Question for you.
Yes.
Solar Show. Zena, please, I'm directing this question to President personally. First, how did MK Abiola family, our MK Abiola's family supporting this campaign? Because we all know what you did. Second, I would advise you do not go for the TVC debate because they can plan evil. I'm asking the question from Fiji Island.
Yeah.
Ooh, beautiful place.
I'll talk about it on that day. I think, you know, he had his biological children and he had his political children. And the biological children are not exactly politically, you know, astute people. But those of us who were political are the people you are talking to today. I think I don't want to determine how they decide who they support. It's not my job. I just think that some of the things I read that they said about this election is appalling. I'm sure their father is turning in his grave right there. So, but I don't want to worry about Abiola's children. During his burial, we had to physically fight at his house because they were expecting Babangida Abacha to come and we refused, and they weren't happy about it. Yes, I mean, it's that terrible. We've told you the story of how even as Abiola was dying in prison, Kola was dating Babangida's daughter. You know, it didn't make sense to anybody. Yeah. So.
It's done local today. But we'll put out the times. We have jingles running in Osho State.
Yeah.
And
we
we're
have in
actually
Ondo State
working
too.
in Osho and Ondo, and we're actually working on nationwide jingles right now, and we're fundraising for that.
Yeah.
So
if you want to support the fund, you want to
the jingles. If you would like to support the jingles drive,
yes,
it's going into the same Zenith account that you know that is pinned to the Facebook, and we're trying to get to 3.8 million naira. That's how much it'll take to have jingles playing 3 times a day, nationwide, every day up until election time. So if you'd like to support that movement, please put jingles as a reference.
yes.
Otherwise,
it will go to other causes.
yes, exactly.
Agemelo George, this message is to Showore directly. I've never voted, but I will now because I have faith. If
Wow.
you do win and make history, promise that in some way you always find a way to be interactive with Nigerians.
100%.
I will be.
Yeah.
Absolutely. As the UK says here, the corrupt officials will get pecked. Pecked. And guys are creative. How are you, my president? Is your rally going to be in Lagos Island or mainland? Thank you and God bless. Lady Glory.
I think it's both.
It will be in both places.
We'll be in both places, yeah.
Yeah, one will happen before the other, though. Dear Yele, could it be possible that by encouraging voters to take their phones into polling booths may help the verification process of those who may snap photograph of their optional vote to collect their promised gift from the corrupt bidders afterwards? No, they will. The corrupt bidders know how to get validation. Trust me. It's now moved from phone to how they fold. When they are folding, they will be folding to the man who is hiding on the other side of the wall, if there's a wall. So we want to do this so that we can get accurate information about how many votes we have, and we can start tabulating before they come out with their equal numbers. So,
Question.
my president, why are there 2 AAC apps in Play Store? I don't want to send people to the wrong one.
They need to go to the one that is being developed and propagated by AAC, the African Action Congress.
So there are 2.
There's one called Kemito or something. Yes.
That's the fake one.
That's the fake one.
So
Yes,
there's a
there's-
fake one and there's the original
The
one.
original one is by African Action Congress, please.
All right.
Question.
Question. Go ahead.
Uzenabo Daniel, will Mr. President be using the Lagos Marathon to raise funds? If yes, it would be a good idea.
If you want to, contribute to the race, then.
That will be at the polling unit for him alone.
Oh
wow.
wow. You know how like they always tell you like, oh, Buhari owns the north. I cannot count how many people stopped us in Bauchi or stopped to say, hey, Shawara, I'm voting for you. Countless number of people. And the same thing with Gombe. People you thought never knew us. In fact, there was a guy who was screaming on the side of the I saw Shawara in Gombe. I've seen Shawara in Gombe, it's amazing, This country is ripe for this. And one thing that I have to say is that the propaganda that we don't have structure is a lie. The second thing that I noticed is that, there's the ethnicity that they've played on since they seem to have played their hands with ethnicity and religion. Nobody's fooled anymore. And people are just like embracing us everywhere we went, and it's been amazing that people all over the country, as I usually say, I've never been to this many places in Nigeria before, and it's a privilege to have been with you guys everywhere we've been and where we've had a great reception. And there are a lot of silent voters out there who are like just waiting for election day. If you're one of those people, please, you have made the right decision if you are voting for us. If you're one of those people who have not decided at this time, by not deciding, you have voted for another idiot for another 4 years. I'm sorry to say, that's the truth. But if you decide and do the right thing, we will all be all right. And finding their energy, their resources to help us. People are genuinely out there helping out. So many of them are not even talking to us. They're not contacting us. They're setting up their own structures. They're convincing people. I've had people tell me that they have cookouts on weekends just to say, we're voting for Shawara, come and chop in my house. There are people who are planning to carpool to the vote. They will carry people to, if they let them drive together. Lots of things are happening that is beyond us. It's completely beyond us here. So, thank you guys. I'm humble.
Take it back.
Take it back.
Action.
No
going back.
The AAC app is not up to date in terms of upcoming rallies and event dates.
Who is in charge of this? The app is supposed to be updated. They said it's not up to
The
date.
geeky guys.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Romeo Andrew Villa is asking, how can we meet you when you come to Ghana?
If you know of a restaurant or a place that is central to Nigerians in Accra,
Yeah.
you can also recommend. Or if you want to contribute a spot, let us know. We've been working on it for the last few hours.
Yeah,
By
yes.
tomorrow, definitely we'll know where we'll be in Accra. We really want to meet a lot of you who are based in Accra. Whomever want to show up, you can also start sending us messages. My number here is +234 818 823. Aquabada is welcome.
Question
and,
for
they're
Steve
safe.
from Fiji Island. He wants to know what are your plans.
It's going to be speed text.
Spintex?
Yeah.
That's the meeting spot?
Yeah, in Accra.
Spintex.
For mock news.
No, that's Thursday. We're talking about Wednesday evening
Oh.
where people want to meet and
Yeah, we
greet.
can do Nungwa area.
Do you have a restaurant there?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's contact the person first before we make a decision. But I'm sure before we leave this place, somebody might have even donated
Absolutely.
a space.
Spot, yeah.
your spot. You know.
Question is, what's the president going to do in tackling Nigerians in prisons around the world? I've seen our innocent Nigerians in prisons in over 20 countries.
I will definitely make sure that our diplomats are doing their jobs. Most Nigerian diplomats are not working for Nigeria. They're not working for anybody, period. If a U.S. citizen were to go to police detention tonight, by tomorrow morning, the diplomats, by tonight, in fact, they will go and check you out. Even if you are a naturalized citizen. Nigerians, I think, if they hear that you go to prison where they're diplomats, they'll ask the prison authorities, please double the number of yes, these people. It's the way we treat our citizens. We had a sit down with a diplomat who had a retired diplomat.
Yeah.
And we're like asking him all these questions, and thank you, sir. I don't want to mention your name because I don't want reprisals against you. And one thing he said to us that you can't beat, he said, look, all this foreign policy thing we're talking about is dependent on your domestic policy.
Yes.
It's the way you lay your bed that
That's
the
what
whole
they will
world
help you
will help you
to
lie on it.
Yes.
So, without getting it right at home, forget it. If you like, go and build the highest building in New York City. They don't care about you. As long as your citizens are hungry, they're in poverty, they're living on less than $1 per day, and you are not addressing it. You simply don't have any,
Any sort of
foreign
clout,
policy or clout as long as the people are suffering. That's the truth. So, our people are going to prison abroad and treated the way they are because they're going to prison here. Tonight, I'm sure, like SARS is out there, arresting innocent persons simply because they're wearing a hood. It's the way you treat. Yes, or using expensive phones.
Or carrying a rucksack.
Oh, exactly.
So you had a question on YouTube, Clara Cole. Please, Mr. President, how are you going to handle the Biafra agitation issue? Because it requires a very good attention.
I'm totally in support of agitation for justice, and the Biafrans are not different. They feel cheated in this country. I'm the one who said, and I repeat here today, that it's not only Biafrans who are planning to secede from Nigeria. A lot of people have mentally seceded from Nigeria because the country is unjust, it's unfair, it's a wicked place. It's a place where you're likely to die before you hit the age of 5. Who wants to live here? Honestly, this is hell on earth. They've been made hell on earth for us. I'm speaking from the bottom of my heart. So, if there is justice, the Biafrans will, of course, stay in Nigeria. If there's no justice, even the Biafran states will become a problem later on, especially with the kind of characters who are managing Nigeria. If you break up Nigeria today, every thief will return back to their homes. So even what they have to share at the national level becomes smaller. So the Biafra ones, the Odua ones, everybody will go back and keep doing the same things. So, and I have said it and I'm repeating here that as soon as I'm elected president, I will offer an apology to the Igbos for what we did, killing 3 million of their brothers, sisters, and kids, either with starvation or by war, But all of us, especially Biafrans, must stop voting for people who fought the war.
Yes.
These people still have the war mentality. They want to still conquer everywhere, and Igbo land is not different. It's the reason why you don't have a third second Niger bridge. By now we should have had a 5th Niger bridge. It doesn't matter because, the moment we do justice to Biafrans, the real restructuring we are looking for in Nigeria will start from that. That's the beginning of restructuring. Instead of fixing roads in the Biafran part of town, we are sending them operations, crocodile teeth, and all these snakes, python dance. But we urge all our brothers who are Biafrans that we are all Biafrans because the Biafran spirit is a spirit that's fighting injustice in this land. but we must come together, and because our enemies are spread all over the place, both in Biafra land and so let's work together. And the moment there's justice, an Igbo man needs his village, but they also need a huge expanse of
the
space to
network.
do business. And you will love this country by then. You will love this nation. As I said recently, Nigeria was initially set up as a nation, but has become a business. And any nation that is set up as a business can never work in the interest of a majority. So that's where we are. I hope I've been able to answer your question deeply. It's not as simple as we make it sound here. It's deeper than that, and I know conversations need to happen. And that's the reason why I'm always very open and to discuss the Biafran struggle and in any way that makes sense. But I know it's a very, this one I will admit is complex because of the way different people look at it differently.
Amalola Oyedamola is asking, please, Mr. President, what are your plans for abandoned projects and continuity in Nigeria?
The entire Nigerian nation has been abandoned. Yes. So the moment you take it back, all the projects will have to be completed.
Resuscitate.
Yes, we'll complete all the projects. The first project that needs to be completed is Nigerian project. Because this country is being abandoned right now. In traveling around this country, I know that I can tell you that almost 80% of Nigeria is on government territory. Nobody's in charge, no government. People are just going about doing things daily the way it's possible,
Someone right here is asking, still waiting for UK account for people.
You want to donate from UK?
Yes,
Yeah.
UK account number.
Listen,
So I think the people in the UK, the easiest thing for them to do is to actually donate through PayPal. The PayPal, the official PayPal address is donate@shore2019.org. It's a straightforward.
what about the Zelle?
No, we don't do Zelle in UK.
No, what about Zelle in the US?
Yeah, so Zelle, you can Zelle in the US,
So
and it's the same email address, which is donate@shore2019.org.
Yeah.
But if you're in the UK and you'd like to donate, the easiest things are either the GoFundMe or just donate directly to PayPal, please.
How about the Chase Bank?
Chase, it's more complicated for a person in the UK to send money to an American account.
Yeah.
It's much easier for them to send, so whatever they send in pounds, the PayPal account just gets the dollar equivalent, and then that
That's
gets
why we
drawn
start
down into
getting all
naira.
these fractions.
Yes, that's why you get the pound, cents and
And you guys
kobbos.
know I don't like maths. It's been a little difficult.
Questions and
There's
fun.
donation of 2,000 naira from Owowonu Raboni Akomove.
Thank you.
Yeah. And there's also a Samson Anderson Nosa for 2,000 naira.
2,000. Thank you very much.
Yes, you have a question for us.
I'm not sure if Ibadan is tomorrow or Friday. So
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, Ibadan is now Friday.
Is there a plan for Ijebu Day?
Ijebu Ode, Ogun State. We'll get back to you with regards. Ogun was supposed to be
Yes.
Saturday, but
Yeah.
we were in.
And actually,
Gombe.
your friend Ayola, that
Yeah.
was on the couch the other
Yes.
day, he is desperate for knowledge on Ogun State because he's had a personal issue that might mean him traveling out of the country.
Okay.
So as soon as we have a date for Ogun, we'll announce that date.
Yeah.
What are your plans for the oil well in Delta State?
Oil wells. Oil wells belong to the owners, the people. We think would and I don't know. That question needs to be a little bit more specific, so I can answer. Thank you, Amara.
Good night.
Yeah. We wish you could just say hello to support us on the couch. Yes, please. Sit. Mara is visiting from Atlanta. Just come say hello to our people here. Thank you. Just have a seat for a second, Mara. How are you, Mara?
Good.
Yes.
Doing well, yes. Glad to be
So
here.
she's you're visiting. This is not a political or a politically affiliated conversation. We just want to say hello to her because she's been here with us and she's going to be around to the election. So just tell viewers what you do.
Yeah, so I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia, Nigerian American. I'm an organizer and do different work on different campaigns in the U.S. Around working class issues, and so I'm here learning about the movements that are occurring in Nigeria and in the continent actually at large. And so I'm excited to be here to learn about the great work in this Take it back.
Take it back.
Take it
Have
back.
you heard about Take It Back?
Yes.
Thank
So
you.
I've been following some of the things that have been happening and feel really privileged to be here to get a close look of what's been going on.
Thank you. You said you're Nigerian American.
Yes.
Is it not bad enough to be an American and you have to come on the couch with us and wish you best of luck. What's the food you like the best?
Oh, goosey.
Yes, I
That's
guess. Me
my
too.
favorites.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my favorite
This
too.
isn't that spicy, so you
Yes.
should be alright.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
See you soon again. All right,
Bye.
so thank you guys. That's Amara. Do you have any more questions for us?
Time for the one.
And we'll be wrapping up in. Wait a minute. We're wrapping up soon. 10:40. We should be wrapping up at 11. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
Any more questions?
It's been a long day. A few days. Go ahead. What's the?
Okay, from Louis Avi. Shora, could you tell us your plans on sports development?
Why can't they add president to the show? Right? Let's just show it like that. No. So I think probably you guys followed me today. I was at a seminar preparing for the Lagos Marathon. So, and it shows that the reason I don't discuss sports is that it's part of my gene, at this point. So I know what to do regarding sports. I know how to develop sports. I know several areas where we need. I'm a sportsman in 2 areas. I'm a swimmer, yes, and also a long distance runner. So, maybe I'll be adding, short distances as well to it. Because in this race, this presidential race, you have to learn how to run very fast, man.
In case they come.
In case they come after you. But sports sports is a big deal, look at, you can mention it, soccer, you can talk about, name it. There are areas where we can bring in revenue from, sports. It's a source of health, it's a source of entertainment, lifestyle. Sports is pretty much everything, and that's why a lot of investment. And the good thing about sports is that you don't need to invest too much in it, although you have to invest in development.
Yes.
It's in whatever development you invest in a level of facilities, equipment, they go a long way to produce results over time. Like if you build, a stadium or even a pitch, it can produce like several
Hundreds of
multi-million-dollar players,
Athletes,
and if you let people swim, it can produce the Michael Phelps of this world.
Yes.
And so it doesn't cost much to prepare people for sports, and that's the way to do it is to catch them young. When I started running marathon, I had this whole crazy idea that I could win. The guy who was my coach said, "Don't worry, it's not gonna happen. Except you've been doing it since you're 10 years old." So if you start running at 10, the likelihood that you win a marathon is
It's
very,
interesting
very.
that you should say that because a lot of Olympic athletes today can actually trace back their beginnings to public centers.
Yes,
So
yeah.
public pools, YMCA, and countries that invested in scouts. So
Yeah.
you're supposed to be there. You're supposed to be playing as a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old. but somebody will be going past saying, I want that boy, or I want that
Yeah.
girl, or that one has potential, or this one. And then they have sports academies where they incentivize the parents with scholarships and things like that. So even if you can't afford to send your child to that school or get that kind of training, the government puts trains. So once again, we're back to deliberate governance. There's nothing, we're not going to do anything that hasn't been done before. What we're going to do is implement the will to do it. And
I
actually,
remember the songs that we used to have as Boy Scouts, Boy Scouts are coming, will you give them a way to go? Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. You guys didn't do anything, that's why you don't know the songs.
do not know that.
So there's a donation that came in from Zenith Bank from Ezumezu Ferdinand Wakife for 50,000 naira.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. So we are making progress here, and sometimes we don't want to leave, but we have to get ready for the next year. I think there's some funding that came in from GoFundMe. Let's announce them. We have $150 from Temilade Alamudu. We already announced that.
Yes.
From Owabu is a Susan, $100. We read Valentin Zongo for $50.
Thank you.
There's a $60 from Fgum Rex. And Angela Reaki.
Oh, yes.
$100 this night. Thank you,
Thank you
Angela.
very much.
You have been an amazing support. Thank you, Angela.
Yes.
So that's where we are on that note. Do you have any other questions?
Those displaced by Boko Haram.
Oh yeah. So the immediate things we have to do is to make sure that they are relocated to places that can be temporary homes, and not keep them in refugee-like situations for too long, so that somehow they can be productive and resume life. They need to send their children to school. Nutrition is important, sanitation is important. But ultimately, defeating Boko Haram is the solution to
Means they
returning
can
people
go
back
home.
home. And what happened recently is going to discourage a lot of people from going back home. Look at the liberated Baga, and then Boko Haram came and took it over again. Nobody wants to go back to that kind of very scary
Can't rebuild
momentum.
it just to.
So
Yes.
sad what happened with the military being caught off guard, and that's why we have to change the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, so that you have a commander-in-chief who
Actually
is
has
not
military
handing over
intelligence.
the flag to a governorship gubernatorial candidate.
Gubernatorial.
So something is happening. It's very interesting on Facebook, and I saw it on Instagram. So when we did the NTA thing, the Buhari guys were upset. It's like, oh my God, this guy just... And then they started looking for, mistakes, little mistakes. It didn't work. But now, what they've started doing is they said, okay, she will praise Buhari. And they're now helping us to advertise the NTA. They've lost their mind. They've lost their cool.
They're looking for whatever
So
they can.
they are now the ones cutting
Clips.
and putting out there, using it to validate their candidates. It's you can't help them. You can't help the Buharidins, as they call them. You can't help them. Did you say there's a question?
Yes. Michael Blessing wants to know what you're going to do about the ease of getting visa to other countries.
I think it's a
not
function
so
of again
It's
domestic
progress.
policy.
Yeah.
If things are right in your country,
Other people.
they'll be bringing visa to your house.
Yeah.
Or they will exempt even your country from
Absolutely.
applying to there was a day I was traveling to one country, I think from the US, and to find out how many countries that are not even close to Nigeria in terms of resources are exempted from getting visa. I think it was Australia. I saw like some countries that they can't even consider to be you never heard their names before, they're exempted from
Yeah, they can go.
but they just take their passport and go there. So if you get things right, a lot of countries will exempt you. So getting things right is the priority for helping you to get a visa. And if things are right here, would you need visa? You won't need visa. But if things are not okay here, it's a matter of time before Ghana start demanding for visa from us.
Yeah.
Even the Commonwealth that we belong to, they say we can't get visa.
Showore, what's your take on employing foreign expatriates to do every single construction work in Nigeria?
No, it's not
Knowing
good.
that we have
We are very clear about it. Before a foreign expert, so to speak, is brought to do any work, you must have looked for and not found a Nigerian that can do the work, either in Nigeria or in the diaspora.
Yes.
That's clear. That's how they do it where I lived for 19 years. And that's how we do it here.
Take it back.
That's
So, and I'm not sounding nationalistic, so you know, it's just the
it's right.
right way to do things. You know, I think it's actually reciprocity.
Have you got one?
There's a question there.
Yeah.
Jeff Dynamic. Good evening, Mr. President. What will you do about some Nigerian policemen who are involved in cultism?
Sure.
Nigeria policemen.
I did not
and-
expect that.
You're talking about violent crime now. Yes, they'll be
They'll be
treated.
pecked.
They'll be pecked. They'll be treated as criminals. You know, one thing people must understand is that policing is a position of trust as well. That's why in advance to hold it and arrest people. So policemen must live above board the same way judges as well. I think apart from judges, policemen are probably the most important officers of the law.
Yes.
So if they're engaging in crime, they will be treated as criminals, even worse than
Absolutely.
regular criminals will be treated. This Valentin Zongo actually left a message. He said he's from Burkina Faso.
Oh, thank you so much.
So we missed our revolution in 1987. Led Nigeria succeed in time through this great leader of our time.
Right.
Wow.
Guy that had, I think it was Ene Popov.
Oh gosh, Cameroonian in Treviso.
Oh, yeah.
In Treviso, yes.
How do you know it's Popov?
She was smelling it.
Some of you, man. Can't breathe.
Donnie Yoba is saying, please tell Shore that they are duplicating PVCs now. You should say it out so that police can be alert.
Okay.
Which ones? The ones doing cultism.
You want police to go arrest people?
Kazim is asking, don't you think we need electronic ID for every citizen?
Yeah, that's easy. Electronic ID is very, very easy.
Yeah.
There was a time I proposed that even policemen should carry tags that have readable tags.
Yes.
Now you can use your cell phone to confirm if it's real.
It's
or not.
an actual
And
policeman, yeah.
some APC guys were making fun of us in those days, but
Of course, they
No.
don't want it.
yeah.
I think we have something from Senate.
No, yes, there's something from Zenit. Olajide Olabode Oluwadare, 5,000 naira.
Thank you very much.
And there's Peter Efosa Festus for 1,000 naira.
Thank you very much.
See, somebody confirmed it was Popov.
It is? Yeah.
First of all, yes, it was. I didn't want to say that I knew, so that I didn't get- but it was definitely for fun.
You know when we went to Treviso, where's Treviso?
Italy.
Yeah. There's Treviso, there's Napoli. I swear,
Yeah.
Napoli is like Oshodi.
It's worse than Oshodi.
No, we went there together. I was asking the guys, I had to say, like, you really left Nigeria to come to this place?
But someone was asking a question about making visas easy. If your internal policy doesn't work, that's what happens. People think
No, most people in
anywhere
Napoli,
is better.
what is sad, and this is on a serious note, they said there's a cemetery outside of Napoli where they bury people who die
on
you
the
know,
sea,
pretty
on the
sea.
way,
So most people in Napoli actually went by
sea.
sea, yeah. Dangerous, you know.
They know all the
Yeah,
dangers
that's why
and
they
they're
are
still
very.
willing to.
That's why they are very, very bitter when you talk about Nigeria. They're just not. They're not happy about it at all.
This is a weird question.
Yeah, Showore TV News are showing you right now. Please watch TVC now. Oh, they said they're showing me now.
And somebody check online first.
We don't
Mr.
have
President,
television in here.
Will you allow reggae music to play on Nigerian radios when you resume office?
What kind of question is that?
We don't do oppression.
Afrobeat, reggae, apala, waka, anything.
Emeka Valentine is asking what your plans are to open up seaports in the south.
Yes, we need more seaports across Nigeria. who was with us this morning with the trailers that are packed from Pangrove all the way to Apapa? If there are still ports in the south, that would be unnecessary. And by the way, we are clamping down on this.
On those things, those moving.
But it's not just about clamping down. You have to have alternatives.
Yes.
Somebody is from US here saying, please, Shura, once you're sworn in as president, stop paying states their monthly allocations in dollars. They should be paid in naira. This will curb corruption and they won't have money to take away from the country. I don't know why they pay them allocations in dollars when it's not our local currency. I don't know how they paid them, but I think they are paid in naira. But the governors take the naira to BDCs, convert to dollars, and move with it. It is prevention of stealing any currency that will solve the problem.
Yeah.
Not they can figure out how to convert. So,
cowrie shells, they will convert it.
To the governors, how governors are using private jets. An average private jet that they like, they spend $7,000 per hour. And if it's private jet lands and you don't come back on time, they said it takes $1,000 per hour until then you take another hour of flight. They said the number one culprit is Ogun State Governor, the man with the Pentagon, you know, the APC guy. They said he uses private, and he pays in cash, dollars.
But no money for schools.
No schools, no money.
No
for
money
schools,
for hospitals,
no salaries.
though. No money for salaries, though.
And they said sometimes it takes private jet every day for 5 days, 10 days.
To where? From Ijebu to...
No, they always go to Abuja, they go to London, they go to all kinds of crazy places. The same thing they said, same thing with Akwa Ibom State, they have a jet, he went for maintenance, they brought in another one in replacement. When their jet came back, they refused to return the one that, these guys are crazy, you know, crazy people.
This is Nigeria. Look how we're living now.
Yes.
Private jets fueling now.
All right.
Have you got a question?
There's a donation of 8,000 naira from Omolabi Rebecca Fumilayo. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
There's a Olusegun Oyesonya for 15,000 naira.
Thank you very much.
There's Olajide Olabode Oluwadare for 5,000 naira.
That person is frequent.
Yes, Peter Fosa Festus, I mentioned that for 1,000 naira. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
We're about 3 minutes to go.
To 11.
So, do you guys have anything else to add?
Kashwide is asking what you do about providing clean water
Clean water.
for every home.
Yes.
I think we did this in Spicer Heat.
It's not. No, we have to keep explaining to people. From some of them are new people, but we have a document known as Spicer Heat, which is security, power. That's our manifesto, infrastructure, anti-corruption, economy, restructuring, health, education, agriculture, and tourism. And in it, we have, we have a section dedicated to providing clean water to our people, and we specifically even mention number of gallons of clean water we need per day.
Yes.
So, if you don't mind, because it's late and we're leaving, maybe we'll talk about it when we come back on the couch, so we can give you the specifics you need. Don't forget. But yes, we plan to provide clean water, not pure water.
Clean
water. There are
water.
two different things. Pure water sachets. Pure water in sachet is not the same thing as clean water.
But this is what we're saying about what is Bakamu in English? The parts of the country with the filthiest water. Lekki, you can't, when you open the tap, rust comes out of the water. So the people who should be asking the hardest questions, the people who should be responsible for saying, we won't take this, are the people who are actually taking it and drinking rusty water on top of it. So, this is, if you, as a market woman, well, I hope the answer was one day. I think you in Lekki with your 1.8 million naira penthouse flat and your little Evoque downstairs should be able to say, hang on, Mr. Governor or whoever it is, why can't I open the tap and even bathe with this water? It's shocking. Let's ask these difficult questions, not just from AAC. So people ask questions from Mr. Showa, what are you going to do about this? Questions that they don't ask the people who are ruling them now. Ask the difficult questions.
We met a prophet yesterday, just Prophet Issa El-Buba.
Yeah.
He said something that I cannot forget. He said, right now, Nigerians are hated for a number of things. He said it's a matter of time before Nigerians are hated for their stupidity. If they continue voting for
The
this
same
class. He said people just get there, it's 11 o'clock. So one last thing, he said, this guy again, if me and my family did not campaign
Good
for
question.
We know.
you,
What's it?
nothing
Waiting
for-
again.
Now you get.
Waiting again.
Sir, when are you coming to Sango Agbadore? I'm ready to lead you down to Genesis Church for Richie. Genesis Church.
Oh, we were going to do that actually.
Yeah.
weren't we?
They keep sending me his number. I think a lot of people are in touch with him. He's interested, but we haven't heard back from him yet. But I keep calling his number. Maybe he's traveling. We'll go there anytime he's ready for us. Guys, thank you so much.
Action.
No going back.
Wow.
That was safe day.
Thank you guys. It's an amazing evening, and we'll see you next time. Maybe not the same place, but we'll still be on the couch, right?
Certainly on the couch.
Thank you. And election day is, I think, 18 days from now.
Yes.
18 days.
18 days, man. That's
Get your PVCs.
Go and get your PVC.
People ask when they were doing the registration, people were saying, is it too late? Is it too late? After we had been shouting for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Please don't wait until the queues are. Yes, please. If you have a temporary voter's card, you cannot vote. If you have not been registered, you cannot vote. If you've lost.
Encourage people who have to.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Encourage people who have to vote. But if you. See you on the 16th of February.
Thank you so much, everyone, and we'll be back on the couch again to talk to you about our time.
Our time.
Have a
Have a lovely night.
thank you.